The underlying theme in this whole series is succession, and episode 9, Beggars Banquet, puts that issue under a microscope. Hello and welcome to The Whistle. I'm your host, Jen Whitfield, where we review and tell you what is coming up in your favorite must-see shows that you absolutely cannot miss. So, who will succeed Conrad? It was revealed in the last episode that even Harry does indeed recognize that Conrad is weakened. In spite of his insistent loyalty, Harry is making a bid for control of the family with Kevin. With Brendan gone, Kevin becomes the obvious choice, but does anyone think he is fit to lead the family? As we know, Kevin and Harry are very tight from serving in juvie together when they were kids, but their time there left deeper scars in Kevin than it did Harry, who has not been able to overcome old trauma that has kept him distracted and on his own side quest, pursuing revenge, while everyone else is embroiled in a turf war. And we've seen Bella in a similar situation as the wife of the supposed heir. Bella is also off pursuing her own scheme to entangle her father in a scandal, which has created a bigger mess for Harry to clean up at a time when no one really needs it. And this all makes Kevin seemingly more unlikely as a successor. Some big secrets were revealed in last week's episode that deeply affect the succession of the Harrigans. If you haven't watched it yet, I urge you go over and check it out first. It was previously revealed that Bella was Conrad's mistress, but last week Maeve hinted she and Kevin both know Eddie is really Conrad's son, not Kevin's, and therefore competition. Maeve doesn't care for a lot of people, but she places importance on her own children to carry out her empire. Wouldn't really call it love. So it's apparent she doesn't have a lot of faith in Kevin, which made Eddie a possibility as her grandson, but this knowledge changes everything. Given how Maeve feels about Serafina, I would question what her true angle is with Eddie. If he's not her grandson, does she regard him as another illegitimate son? And the bigger question, where does that place Gina? Interfering in Maeve's plans will put her in a dangerous position, but as Harry's daughter, even Maeve probably knows not to mess with her, but we have to see. On the subject of Serafina, all indicators seem to point to heir apparent. Now that she's recovered from the buzz incident in Amsterdam, she is safely back at the helm, positioned to take over the family, secretly scheming with Conrad, which brings us back to the episode titled Beggars Banquet, depicting a normal family dinner with the Harrigans, which is of course hilarious and impossible. When it comes to the Harrigans, I would keep all kitchen knives far out of reach and carve the meat in the kitchen, not the dining room. And yes, left of Jan is indeed Alice, the secret undercover agent who has been trying to get close to the Harrigans by friending Jan. Jan is still more or less held captive in the Cotswolds for her own protection, quote unquote. And suspicion over Jan's new friend has not disappeared, so her invite from Conrad and Serafina is super suspicious. And you thought your family dinners were awkward. Talk about knives out. Alice is, of course, getting closer to the Harrigans at the behest of the new lead investigator, Tattersall, a fairly new addition to the series. The task force that was lurking behind the scenes up until now wasn't much of a threat to anyone. Now that amateur hour is over, Tattersall is a much bigger threat to the Harrigan Empire. Speaking of new faces, Kat McAllister represents a whole new problem for Harry, or maybe opportunity. Accusations of Harry's loyalty are getting impossible to ignore, even for Kevin. The question on everyone's mind, where does Harry's loyalty truly lie? Whether he wants to admit it or not, it might be time for him to make an exit. He is a busy guy, especially off-screen. We don't fully know what he knows, what he's told Kat, and why he can call on her for a favor. More importantly, what does that mean for his future with the Harrigans? To answer that question and more, be sure to tune in to the latest episode of Mobland, the second last of the season before the season finale airs next week. Take in all the awkwardness of Beggars Banquet here, and also here. Available for streaming on Paramount Plus in Canada, the US, the UK, and Australia.